Let's take a look here at philosophy scenario 1. Jesus teaches world cultures elective course. He wants his students to examine the process of cultural diffusion. Now that his school has returned to in-person teaching, he wants to leverage the digital skills students have learned during distance learning in an in-person setting. During distance learning, his students created some amazing coat of arms images with Google Drawings during the medieval manner lesson. This year, he's curating those images on a Google site for this year's students to see as examples. Students will use Google Search to do research on French cuisine and compile their research on a group Google Slides presentation. For the lesson on South American music, Jesus put together a playlist of South American music on YouTube for students to compare and contrast styles. Let's take a look at some examples of digital activities that teachers like Jesus can use to have students engage with and explore content. So one of the things that Jesus wants to do is to have them use Google Drawings to design a coat of arms. So Google Drawings is easily found. If you one way to do it is to go to Drive, and you'd go here and click on New, More, and then select Drawings. Drawings is actually very similar to slides. There's actually a lot of things that really that you can do in drawings you can also do in slides, but we're going to use drawings for this. So Google Drawings is like a free. Think of it as free Photoshop. So using the shapes tool, students can maybe design some kind of like a coat of arms here. So maybe they're going to use this shape here, and they can then use the insert image picture to find designs that they can layer over these. They could layer over the shapes. Like for example, search web arms. This could find images that they can use to design something like a coat of arms for some kind of history project, something like this, just as a short example. So drawings would be the tool they would use to do some kind of simple image design. Another idea that Jesus can do to really leverage student work is to curate student work on a Google site. So again, we can start here in Drive, go to New, go to More, and then we'll select Sites. And a real easy way to do to really kind of help students kind of see what these kids in the past have done. Title the site, we can call this Student Coats of Arms. And what using and have throughout the years, Jesus saves student the images that students create. He saves them on his computer or his drive. He can go either here to Images and go to Upload, and then search his computer's files for those images that he can then place on here. So an example would be, I'm going to do a quick example here of some images that I have. So this one, we'll pretend like this is a coat of arms. It could easily be, it's saved on my computer, can be put on there. If he has them saved in Google Drive, he can then search his Google Drive, find those images, and add them to the site, and then share this site with students so they can take a look at examples before they get started creating their own coat of arms. Another way would be to simply have students practice doing their Google search skills to find information for a slides presentation. Another thing that Jesus talked about would be to use a YouTube playlist. So, so for example, Jesus was having them study South American music. So go to YouTube. Jesus can create a playlist. Go ahead and create Jesus's account really quick. First time that you go to YouTube, you need to go ahead and make sure you create your channel before you have the full complement of options. And now that we have the channel created and you have a full complement of options, Jesus can now do a quick search here for South American traditional music here. So what Jesus can do is go ahead and do some search for some music that he may be having the kids take a look at. And let's say, for example, here's a video about Andy's music. What he can do is open up this video that plays Andy's folklore music. You can go to Save, create new playlist. We'll call this South American Music. We're going to make this unlisted so you can share it with people. And click Create. So that's one video he may want to share. He's going to put it onto a playlist. Maybe we found maybe this one right here, Bossa Nova. This is another South American style. You can click here, click Save, then check mark that playlist, and it's now been saved on that playlist. So now Jesus can go over here to his toolbar over here, and there's that playlist he just created. And he can go to the share button, copy this, and he can email it to students. He can post it in Google Classroom, place it on a class website, and students can access this curated list of videos that plays the kind of music that they are studying for their South American cultures lesson. So again, this is another example of a way that you can use digital activities to get students to explore content rather than simply passively consume.